What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trade Room, a place where I document my personal investing experience, my theories, my matrix theories, and where we give future outlooks on where things are going and the economy. It's been a while. It's been a hot while. And we'll talk about that down the line, but you guys are here. You guys are here for XRP. You guys are here for the breakdown of where XRP is and is going. These are my opinions. I'm not a financial advisor, so do not take anything I say as financial advice. Proceed with your own thought process, opinion, and game plan with anything that you do moving forward. But you guys are here to hear my thoughts on XRP, and where it's going. And I'm gonna approach this from a few directions, fundamentally, technically, and then just where we're heading overall. But I'm gonna try to give some context because this is part four, the fourth reiteration of this macro thesis, this macro theory, with a few big things happening recently. So I've been away, and I've been away not because, oh my gosh, the markets are crashing and things are going to shit, but really so is because I've made a career change, gotten into cybersecurity, and I've just been in school and I've been on a mission. Sometimes in life you have to step back and focus, and that's a bit of what I was doing over this time and period. I wish the best of health for everybody, and I hope everybody's been focusing on themselves and their families as well. And so a big part of this whole XRP and crypto industry that I've been in has to do with eventually getting into some cybersecurity aspects of crypto, as I believe that the job market will be abundant for not only technology opportunities, but also too specifically cryptocurrency based solutions, companies that would need employees as mass adoption happens. So it's a little bit of update of what I've been doing, where I've been at. And we're going to get into price, where XRP price is going, what's going on with the court case, and a bunch of these things. But just want to make sure to give you guys a notice that when you have some of these digital assets, some of these cryptocurrencies, some of these coins, you want to make sure to protect your assets. You want to store your assets in a place that's not associated with an exchange or somebody else custodying or holding your assets. And putting it in cold storage is a great way to go. So whether you already have some crypto or digital assets via the blockchain, or you're considering doing so, just get yourself educated with how to go about utilizing some of these protective tools. Feel free to message me, leave a comment here. Make sure to like, subscribe, and put your notification bells on to get more alerts on updates. But yeah, feel free to ask me any question you want to about this and how to go about it. Contact me, and I can lead you to the right path. But just another reminder to make sure that you're protecting your assets. And again, we're going to talk about XRP. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, where the market is going. But XRP is something that's set up with a strategy of a long-term gain, but also to some short-term gain. And I believe in utility within the cryptocurrency market, but I'm also a big proponent of gaming, even though I suck at games. I'm a big proponent of gaming, and I do believe that the gaming sector in crypto, there are certain portions of the cryptocurrency industry where, yeah, XRP might bring a 10x, a 15x, a 20x here in and down the line, but there are other projects in crypto that could bring you those 30, 40, 50 X's, 100 X's. And in my opinion, crypto gaming, GameFi, NFTs, and accumulation of games in crypto that have all aspects of those are going to do well. So the next video that I put out is going to be about DeFi Kingdoms, an update on that, but overall an update on the gaming sector of the cryptocurrency industry. So again, make sure you put your alerts on so that you can see when that comes up. If you just want to know my opinion and thoughts on where that's going and the opportunity that puts in front of everybody. But we'll move on and start getting to the meat of what we're getting into now. This is the cryptocurrency market, a quick outlook. I want to paint a picture so that once we get to the point where we're talking about XRP price and where XRP is going and why I'm so focused on XRP, just let's paint a picture of where things are in the markets, where things are fundamentally in the world. We have war, we have interest rates, we have recession, we have all these things going on. And people are very scared to be participated in the markets right now. And so those who are in the markets right now have already been in it for the last 2 to 3 years in the down market. However, the Fed is starting to pause rates. Inflation is going down, and the world moves on. The market prices in things that happen in the world. And so I'm of belief that the one of the biggest bull markets is coming along. We're exiting a bear market right now. And I think, and I said it in November and December of 2022, is that 2023 to 24 is going to be the biggest opportunity since the 2009 financial crisis. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And so far, since July of last year, July of 2022, till now, Bitcoin has gone from about a low of 15,000 to now 31,000, which is about 100% run in about a year. And we've seen other assets start to pick up now. And we'll talk about that later down the line. But what's happening in the markets are people are realizing that, hey, uh, something is happening, right? And it's something that we need to pay attention to, and everybody's interested on how they can get a piece of the cake, a piece of the pie. And so that's the current market conditions. Right now, a few things painting the picture, a few things that I want to make clear is, again, over a year ago, the United States of America, who's not as crypto friendly as some of your other major um countries in the world, the Biden administration gave an executive order for the means of the crypto industry. Basically, the US government told all of their other agencies that they need to look at crypto and they need to come up with frameworks so that every agency can correspond with each other so that the US can drop some sort of regulations and rules to the road to allow cryptocurrency to be a thing that is functionally acceptable in the US and protects people from money laundering, scams, steals, and all these other things. Some people looked at this in a negative light. I looked at it in a very positive light because the US is a little bit behind the curve on putting laws, rules, and regulations down. Now, a year later, we have BlackRock, which is the world's number one asset manager. So basically, a custodian that holds people's assets for them, with $11.8 trillion in assets, has decided to file an ETF for Bitcoin. Okay. And when we say Bitcoin, we just mean all of crypto. When you see Bitcoin lead into something, the rest of crypto follows. And so that's why I track Bitcoin. So again, painting a picture, right? Not as scary as it may seem when you have the world's number one asset manager class, the BlackRock that has made investors in the stock market, investors in property, has made the entire world trillions of dollars, has held 401ks, Roth IRAs, all these different things for people in the world and has been trusted for over 75 years is deciding to enter crypto, painting a picture. So now we get into the gist of XRP and what's going on with that, right? We see the crypto recovery, we see the stock market recovery. We see BlackRock and other institutions getting into crypto. We see that XRP, or let me say more, say Ripple was sued. Ripple, the company, the fintech company, the financial technology company, was sued for selling unregistered, quote unquote, supposedly selling unregistered securities. And that was December of 2020. Okay. A little over 2 years ago. And from that lawsuit, it put a negative light on the cryptocurrency space. If the number 3 cryptocurrency in the world at that time, the company was being sued, the company that's using its technology. And so when that happened, the price of XRP dropped dramatically and people sold out of fear. But now, down the line, 2 years and change, we have had a summary judgment ruling in the New York District Court by a judge stating that XRP is not a security. Now, this is not coming from me. This is coming from the lead lawyer for the company that was being sued in Stewart Autorati. And it says, a huge win today. As a matter of law, XRP is not a security. Also, a matter of law, sales on exchanges are not securities. Sales by executives are not securities. Other XRP distributions to developers, to charities, to employees are not securities. So this is hitting on multiple points. Because if it was a security, that means the people holding XRP, the exchanges who are selling XRP to people are doing something illegal. You're doing something illegal, you can face a lot of consequences. And that's why when the court case dropped in 2020, exchanges delisted XRP because, hey, we could be doing something illegal. And now you have a district judge in New York, because it's really hard to even use crypto applications in New York. Like they ban everything. But in New York has stated that XRP is not a security on 4 different aspects. Now, I read on. The only thing the court, sorry about that. The only thing the court found constitutes an investment contract is past direct XRP sales to institutional clients. There will be further court proceedings only on these institutional sales per the court case. My absolute gratitude to the team, yeah, congratulates the team and everything. So there is one thing that the court says, well, you know what? This could be this could be a security. This is a security. This is the thing that you have to go further into court cases for, further into litigation for, and that is the sales to institutions, because those are being sold as a contract with rules and stipulations. And so that can move on. But what we have seen is a flurry of exchanges relisting XRP. Why? Because in the eyes of the law, exchanges who sell XRP are not selling securities. If it's given to you for employees, it's not a security. And so what we've seen is a flurry of exchanges now decide to start relisting XRP. Again, this is on the fundamental level of things. We haven't even gotten to the technical level of things. And I know I'm rambling, but please stay tuned, right? This has been 2.5 years in the making. This video is going to be a little longer than it normally should, right? So we have multiple exchanges listing, including Binance, the biggest exchange in the world. Now, this is Binance US, but best believe Binance International is going to list as well. You have Coinbase. Coinbase will re-enable trading of XRP on the XRP network. Now, Coinbase relisting XRP, the number 1 custodian in the US, the number one cryptocurrency custodian in the US, relisting XRP is major. And again, we're gonna keep getting a flurry of exchanges that continue to list XRP. Now, we're gonna get to the XRP chart. We're gonna get to price. Stay with me here, because everything that's done here is based on history, is based on mathematics, and so painting a picture, right? And so I have one example. I have two examples. I have two examples of a company or a technology going to court and being sued by the SEC. Coming out of that lawsuit with favorable circumstances and sometimes even unfavorable circumstances, and going on a tremendous run price action wise. Now, my one I have is Tesla, and I'll show you Tesla in a bit. Tesla got sued, ended their case in 2018. I always use that as an example, but I have a cryptocurrency example because remember, we have to stay relative, right? A cryptocurrency example where Kick Interactive, okay, which was a blockchain that had their security, and they the way that they distributed their tokens, the SEC saw that as an opportunity in 2019 to sue them. And then in 2020, they settled with the SEC. I don't want to read through all of this, but just know that Kick Interactive is one of those companies that got into a similar situation, and they didn't even get as much favorable circumstances or outcomes as the Ripple team did, who uses the XRP technology to give a financial service, right? Or a few financial services. So what happened to Kick, right? They got sued, they settled in 2020. What happened to Kick? Okay. This is the Kick token and its price action. Remember, everything is based on history, okay? So this is when this lawsuit ended with Kick. This says Monday, the 12th, October of 2020. October of 2020, the case ended. You have a mega green candle here. Okay, now these are all weekly candles here. I should probably even just shorten this to monthly candles, because with the monthly candles, it looks even crazier. And it helps you understand how quickly things happen. Okay, how quickly things happen. Okay, so Kin settles with the SEC and can resume trading. Very similar to XRP, where now exchanges can list Kick and it can resume trading. These candles are all monthly candles. This case settled October of 2020. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. 7 months, it went up 13,162% after settling with the SEC, being able to relist. Over 13,000%. We're just talking percentages. That's what we do here. We don't talk $1 to $5. We talk percentages. Fine. That's one historical example, right? I have another historical example that people are very, very, very familiar with that I like to use, and that is Tesla. Okay. Elon Musk got sued by the SEC, claiming some sort of fraud or whatever. Why? Because Tesla was bringing disruptive technology that was going to interrupt the automobile sector, and the US did not have their greedy hands in it. Go watch my other videos, okay? Part 1, part 2, part 3. I drop little hints of what's going on in there. But Tesla settles their court case with the SEC. What date is this? Get out of here. This is September of 2018. Since settling in September of 2018, first of all, I had a really good following year. 2019 was great, but Tesla did a 3,471% run in 1,154 days, which is how many years? 3, 6, 9, 12. About 3 years and change. 3 years and change. It did 3,471% run. Okay. Now, painting a picture. I hope that with that whole ensemble of a conversation, you guys have a picture of the fundamentals of what's going on, the lawsuit and what's been happening, and the judge finally making a decision, and history and kick. And okay, so now we're on to XRP because this is what you guys are here for. And again, if you've been here this time, cool, awesome. Make sure to like, subscribe, send this to a friend. Send this to a friend. Sometimes it's hard to explain things, and putting some of these things together in a big granularized pictures is not the easiest thing, and timing is always the hardest thing to figure out. Nobody can figure out time. You can just use a set of rules. Okay, and this is what I mentioned on my Instagram: is you never know something for a matter of a fact, but if you can set your rules, right? And I have some rules here, and I won't explain this again. Go watch my other series. Go watch my other parts. It's in there about what these rules are all about, and how I've been following them. But we're gonna talk about XRP. We're gonna talk about where this price action is going. We're gonna talk about supposed timelines. But as a macro investor, you're looking at a big gap of time for these things to play out. All right, I'm gonna give my case. I have all the scribble things here. Follow along if you can. If not, at the end, I'm just really gonna tell you my opinion on where price is going. So for XRP, okay, these are the rules that I'm following, and this is why I'm such a bull on XRP for the next 6 months, but also to the next let's say 3 years or so. Okay. Now, one example that I'm going to use is because everybody understands Bitcoin. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Bitcoin here, but it'll give me opportunity to give some examples of what we're looking at, right? Because Bitcoin moves everything in the cryptocurrency space. And we need to understand how Bitcoin is moving in order to understand how to approach everything else. So we have Bitcoin here. Okay, Bitcoin went through a very good period in between 2020 and 2021. We saw it make a great run, a great run, a great run. We saw it have the highs of 20,000 in 2017. We had our big crash, right? And then we had to round out from that crash sometime in 2020, where everybody was very hyped about Bitcoin. All this period it took to get back to its all-time high. Okay. And this, a part of the theory that I'm going to put here is that once something has an all-time high from 3, 4 years ago, especially with the Bitcoin cycle, it corrects, comes back to its all-time high, goes above its all-time high, and then corrects again. But what it never does is it never breaks below its all-time high. It might go there to test it, but it never breaks below and stays below. Okay. And you can clearly see that here where you have our all-time high 2017. It took us a while, rejection, rejection, and this formed actually a nice cup and handle here. It took it almost 2 years to come back to its all-time high, and then boom, boom, it just giggled out of there, came back down. Okay. Now we have this example here. It had its all-time high here. Okay. Corrected down. Okay. Tested and went a little bit below that previous all-time high. Didn't stay there for long. And now it has gigged up. Okay. Now that might not seem like anything significant, but when we're looking at what Bitcoin has done since June of last year, and I maintain that the bottom of the markets was in June of last year, what Bitcoin has done is it has had 116% run, like we've stated before, and it's gone from 15,000 to 30,000. So back to XRP. What is our pattern that we're looking at here? What are we going for? What are the rules that we're looking to follow? Rule number one, macro all-time highs. Okay, so look, we had an all-time high here where XRP went from literally 0.0026 0.0026 in 2013 and went up 3,000%. Okay, about 3,000% to about 8 cents. It had its correction. Remember, the correction doesn't dip. So macro all-time highs, no correction past all-time highs, and it created this little triangle that we have here. Okay, once it created this little triangle here, it had two rejections on the top of this trend line here, came down here. So from 2014 to 2016, 2 years for a correction, and then did what? And then had another bull run. This time the bull run went from 0.004 and it did a 70,000% run, a 70,000% run in what amount of time? Let's check the time period that it took to make this 70,000% run. 70,000% run, more like 66,000% run when you kind of time it to when it started its impulse in 1 year. So in 1 year, it did a 66,000% run. Okay, where it went from 0.004 to, where is this at? To $2.95. And in some exchanges, $3.80. Okay. Now, what happened then? That was 2017. It crashed. Okay. Corrections have to happen. It crashed along with everything else that crashed within the markets. Okay. And then it started this rounding out process here. All right. And then in 2020, when Bitcoin, 2020, 2021, when Bitcoin went to 70,000, even before that happened, the SEC dropped their lawsuit right here. And this is December of 2020. December of 2020, the SEC dropped their lawsuit and XRP went down about 80%, 77 to 80% as soon as the lawsuit dropped. A lot of people sold. And this is my problem with the SEC. They caused a lot of people to lose money at that time period. I mean, if you didn't know what you was holding, if you hadn't done your research, you would have sold for an 80% loss. That's tough. That sucks. You know what I'm saying? But what happened immediately after? And remember, these candles are 3-month candles. These are not short periods of time. These are 3-month candles, right? And so even with the lawsuit, when Bitcoin had its big run, went over to $70,000, even under a lawsuit, XRP spent 90 days and did almost 1,000% run. Even under a lawsuit, when the market conditions were right, 1,000% run. Okay. Now, from that last all-time high area, it did a correction, as normally cryptocurrencies would do, of 97%. And so far has recovered, since the bottom of that, has recovered 600%. So when the SEC dropped the lawsuit, if you would have just bought XRP, knowing your research, to this day, you'd be up 600%. Not bad. Not a bad return, especially if you spend what? You spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years accumulating the asset, because guess what? We have bills to pay. We can't just drop $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 into an investment out of nowhere. We have bills to pay, right? And so what's happening here is, if we continue to follow this pattern of our rules, macro all-time highs, every time we hit an all-time high, and we correct down, every time we correct down, we do not break the previous all-time high. We did not break the previous all-time high. This now becomes the bottom, the previous all-time high has now the bottom. and it has begun this rounding out process and following this ladder on the 3-month candles. And to me, this thing looks extremely bullish, extremely bullish. And so I have these arrows and we're following this path up. And so if we're following this path up, what are the next stages of what we're dealing with? Well, you got percentage highs and diminishing returns. So do I think XRP is going to do a 70,000% run like it did here? No. Why is that the case? It's because if we're following our rules, we're going to have a percentage run, but it's going to be diminishing returns, which means it's going to be less of a return than the previous time it went ballistic. Okay. And so, I don't think it's going to do a 70,000% run, but it's going to do something nasty, and we'll see what that percentage looks like. And then we're the third rule is we're following a logarithmic projected growth. So a long consolidation with very powerful growth. And that's the last rule. And I'll explain this last rule and we'll talk about where it's going in price action. This last rule is the longer that it sits in a consolidation period, the first time was 1,188 days. It sat in there for a long time and had a 77,000% run, right? The next time, this is the next time it has sat in this period now, including the currently where we are for 2,099 days. The longer the consolidation, the stronger the impulse. And so, do I think 77,000% is possible? I think that's possible in a 10-year span. I think that XRP is about to go on a mega giga long-term growth period where the next 10 to 15 years, we're going to see astronomical growth from XRP, major ups and downs, major periods where people sell and look to get out of the coin because, they got it at a certain place and they want to sell it at a certain place, right? So now, where to next after this long consolidation period? Longer than the other consolidation period where it did a 77,000% run. Where to next? And so right now, we're going to zoom in a little bit because XRP had a really, really big run. And we just want to take a look at it and decipher that for what it is, right? And so we're looking a lot at the long-term charting and what's going on. We're going to look at the short-term charting and what's going on and what can happen and where I would possibly buy more if I had the opportunity to buy more. Okay. Now we saw that XRP was kind of just chilling within this range here. It had, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my chart set up here. I'll use a 4-hour chart for now. Let's use a daily chart. Maybe it'll help me break things down a little better. So this is when the FTX situation happened. A lot of the bad things happening in crypto. Bitcoin also dipped as well. What is it? It was the FTX thing. Yeah. And so XRP dipped here. Okay. And then it's been just climbing slowly on this trend line here, which you can see in the longer term charts. It had a very tough time getting out of this 53-cent area here. And with technical analysis, easiest thing to remember is just support and resistance, support and resistance. Something is either going to provide support for the price action to go higher or is going to provide resistance for the price action to be rejected and to fall down. And so since May of 2022, and remember the bottom of the market was in June of 2022. So since May of 2022, when the price crashed or corrected to 28 cents, it's been slowly climbing and it tested the 54-cent area, rejection, support on this trend line, tested it 2 times, tested it 3 times. And on the 4th time, when the news dropped that XRP It's not a security, and exchanges started to relist it again. It broke out of this 53-cent area. Okay. And now we've broken out here. I think we're going to a dollar. A dollar is the next place in which we're going to. The question is, what is our projected timeline? What opportunities will we possibly get when XRP corrects? And so even from this impulse here, XRP did a 99% run in one day. In one day, that's a daily candle. 100% run in one day, and 100% run in a day could be pretty usual for XRP over the next 6 months. The next 6 months projected out growth of XRP is very positive, very, very positive. And I try to be very I try to be very cautious about talking very confidently about price action. But the next 6 months, the price action for XRP looks tremendous. The price action for XRP over the next 2 to 5 years, 10 years, 15 years looks tremendous. Mega long-term growth. But that's a daily candle. And so when you have big runs like this, you're gonna get corrections. So what are we looking at more so in the short term for XRP after 100% run in one day? And where could our buying opportunities be? And if you stayed with me for this long, congratulations to you. You know, you care about just finding more about XRP and price action and where it's going, or this is informative to you and it's helping you out in some way. So what we're looking at here is the big run and then the correction. Okay, this 66-cent area is a very, very interesting area where I would possibly be looking to buy some more XRP. You're extremely lucky if you're getting it in this 53-cent area here. There would have to be something really tremendous that happens in a market to bring it down here. I could even also label this 58-cent area and also this 64-cent area. I'm definitely looking to scoop up some at this 64-cent area. I really just haven't been buying XRP for a while, just waiting to see how things pan out. But if you're dollar cost averaging in and you're gonna spend, let's say, the next 2 to 4 months trying to accumulate whatever amount of XRP you can, this correction is healthy. This is not a bad thing. This is a healthy correction with a chart that looks really good for the next 6 months. And so if you're looking for opportunities to scoop it up, again, the 66-cent area, the 64-cent area can be areas in which you'll look to scoop it up. The next projected movement is to a dollar. And then from there, we're going to go through our ups and downs. We're certainly going to go through our ups and downs. There's going to be some resistance at that dollar. We're looking at the next place is 182. The thing I want to make everyone very clear of is that um, this line here, very similar to the previous history, this line here, it could just want to kind of zigzag its way to the very near end of it before it pushes out of there. So I wouldn't be surprised if over the next few weeks, XRP gets through that $1 area, even gets to about 126, 127 ish. And then maybe I wouldn't be surprised at this at all. Come down here to I would not be surprised by any sort of correction as long as we maintain this trend line that we're following. But eventually we're gonna make our way to higher numbers. The previous high of the last bull market in 2021 was $1.82. And I'm sorry, it wasn't even $1.82. Previous high was $1.98-ish. So we're gonna have a big battle when we get there. Probably a nice little correction when we get there. But if you're accumulating, especially after this impulse, 66, a dollar, 198, 366, 574, 919, 1295. And as we continue to go here, we get into later years, What do I think for these next 6 months? For these next 6 months, I think a 10 to $20 XRP is something that I, I wouldn't be surprised by it. Ethereum's current market cap is about around $240 billion. That's a $4.80 XRP. So within the next few months, if we end up getting there, I wouldn't be surprised. That's between these two gaps here. Remember the all-time high? That's between these two gaps here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something. We work, we work, we work. We get to the all-time high. We break a little bit above it. We come back down to test it, and we kind of linger around here for a while. Maybe even come back down to 188 here, linger around here for a while, and then finally make our way out of here to higher numbers. But for this specific 6 month period, 6 to 8 month period, 2023 going into 2024, I think $20 to $30 XRP, people look at me crazy. It's not unfathomable. It's very possible. For it to get there, it would have to have Bitcoin's current market cap, which is $1 trillion. If the market cap of XRP gets to Bitcoin's current market cap, which is $1 trillion, we're looking at $20 to $30 XRP. Now, you can buy and sell wherever you want to. That's all up to you. This is what I've been doing and what I've been focusing on for the last 6 to 7 years, and I'm going to be focusing on it and staying consistent with it for the next 5 to 10 years. And that this pattern is just what we're looking at. This is my update on price. We have some other numbers here, but we're not going to talk about that right now. First, let's get to the all-time high. Let's break through the all-time high of $3.66, $3.80, and we can start talking. And really, that's probably when I'll make my next update. I probably won't make another update till then. So that is my current update. That is the matrix theory. That is the long projected growth after a long consolidation. Let's get to that all-time high of 360, 380, and then we can start talking about what $20 to $30 looks like. The rest of the markets look pretty bullish. And some may say that, oh, this is impossible. How can crypto go to all-time highs? We're seeing NVIDIA in the stock market. We're going to see Tesla pretty soon. We're seeing Apple. We're seeing all these things hit their all-time high in the equities market. And by all means, if things work out by God's grace, we're going to see the cryptocurrency market have a tremendous 2023 going into 2024. And so all-time high, 380, 360 is what I'm looking at. And then $20 to $30 XRP is what we're looking at. DeFi Kingdoms videos coming out soon will be my next video. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything that I've laid out here. And make sure to subscribe, guys. I'll see you on the other side. It may be a while before I do another XRP video, but this is part 4. Enter the Matrix. We are here. See you guys. Peace.